Good morning, my dears, and happy May to every single one of you. I'm excited about this month. I can't label every May. It's going to be May. So I'm going with the channel title that came through in my workbook, Going Our Separate Ways. This doesn't have to just be about relationships. This is a lot about self and the self-development and the integration of the energies that are available to us that we've all been experiencing in our own way. And a lot of this community might be in a very intense and unexpected time of hermiting, an unexpected fog, an unexpected upgrade, or we are feeling a shift in our content, in the way we show up for our community. We're feeling a shift in our downloads, in the way that we even channel or experience this entire world. Our aesthetic might be changing. We are being asked to move and we're not sure what's going on. There's this rewiring and reprogramming that it's almost like we've been, listening to the hypnosis tapes, and then all of a sudden things fall apart and we're like, why did this happen? It's like, because you fell in love with yourself, kiddo. You're doing a great job. So we're going to talk a little bit about May, some key dates, and some channeled messages that have really been coming through. The way that I'm choosing to show up for my videos and for my community is in a real authentic way, in a real, my oracle eye has been shifting. I, wrote a blog about it. I talked about it in my membership group, where it was an extended fog that transcended the astrology. And I had not felt anything so intense when my oracle view, it was like one view became multiple screens. So this fog was very upgrading for me, and it was not confusing. It was confusing because all I wanted to do was talk about it and give you like the end result of it. But the more I calmed myself and really allowed it to integrate, it became pretty effortless to know that doesn't resonate, this does resonate. This is a resounding yes, anything else is a no. Those types of things. And so writing has been very fluid for me. There might be things coming up that a certain medium has been like, yes, I want to do that. I want to write more. I want to share more. I want to get this out in a way that feels really good. So go with what works and go with how it resonates. And I have to be completely honest with you. This board, I don't like it. It's not big enough. So I'm going to make another. So this is probably the last time that we're going to use this one today. But I wanted to record the video before I started my day, and I'm going to make another one before the next video. It's not big enough. You cannot read it well enough. So I love you. But I've made hundreds of these. Actually, maybe not 100 yet. I've made dozens of them. So the board behind me, actually, I'll introduce myself. My name is Sarah. I am a channeler and an astrologer. So today we're really blending those two lenses. We speak in lenses around here of astrology, and really we speak from I statements around here. So it's a little bit about how am I integrating this energy? How am I understanding it, and how am I navigating this? You don't have to harness it. You don't have to utilize this energy if you don't want to. That's one of the most important things. And a lot of my subscribers, you just sit back and have a coffee or tea with me. My voice is meant to unlock codes and knowings within you. And looking into my big old bug eyes does that too. So with that being said, maybe be cognizant of the ingestion of content. Maybe make sure, hey, do I want to receive codes that unlock? Do I want to utilize this energy? Do I want to separate from situations that are not for my soul's path? Because if you don't want that, you can scroll past my face. That's totally okie dokie. I'm not here to shake you and say, you have to be the most authentic version of yourself. You don't. You can be whoever you want to be. This is astrological validation, channeled messages, and really my perspective on the energy that's coming in May. So you don't have to take any of this as doctrine. I implore you to do your own research on anything that I discuss here. But this is me offering some messages, some downloads, some time at my multidimensional cafe. Just you and I having coffee and tea, transcending time and space, and just talking about the awakening. We celebrate the creation of New Earth around here, so it's a good time. I have some Jimbo's organic espresso and some of those cups. Some warm water with lemon. It's kind of tepid water at this point, but I pick it up. I'm in Massachusetts, so I go to Linfield, the Boston Clearwater Company at the Pocahontas Spring. Amazing, amazing water. And what do you mean, Sarah, going our separate ways? You might have heard a little bit about timeline splits. I feel like that's been like a very common phrase that people are hearing, these timelines. Oh, and this is your chair, just so you know. What does that mean, Sarah? What does it mean, a timeline split? Does it mean we're going to another planet, or this is happening over here? We're not. We're all sharing this planet, and we can be in different vibrations all at the same time. Have you ever been just walking down the street and you see someone that, not really in a judgmental, like, oh, you're wrong and I'm right type of a way, but in a, wow, I can see that that person lives in a completely different paradigm than I do. Maybe they wear completely different aesthetic. They, have bumper stickers on their car that you're like, that is not my reality, but their reality is just as real as yours. So one of the most important key aspects, and just so you know, if you're new, when I'm talking to you, my guides and spirit team show me pictures and images over here. I'm also welcoming in the guides for this collective, for this community. And it's one of the shifts that's kind of happening with my oracle view, I guess, for lack of a better term, is that it's not just my guides. I set the intention to go directly to God, directly to source, and messages that are for the highest and greatest good for this community, for this collective. So that's when I'm staring off into the TISM space, that's where I go. The other screen that I have over here is a more galactic screen. So this is going to be the Council of Nine or the GFL, or there's a lot of Venusian energy that's coming through for this month. Venus is going to be in Aries for the entirety of May, and definitely like what did I write down? What does Venus represent to you? That's kind of a little bit of the shifts that's been coming through for me. So it's like I see the energy of Venus, and then it's like a flip book of that one particle, of that one screen of Venus, and it could be any infinite Venus representations. For some people, it can be very human. For some people, it can be very religious. For some people, it could be very spiritual. For some people, it could be very shamanic. Doesn't matter. They're all the same thing. So whatever Venus represents to you, that's what I want you to focus on a little bit. And then the bottom screen over here is more of a past life screen and a future life screen. So that's going to be different times and spaces, whereas this screen up here is more about consciousnesses and energies that are alive right now. And then this is not really alive right now. And then this is like the teaching, like I talk a little bit on, what was the video? Clarity, channeling, like clarity in your channeling. It's in the toolbox. It's a whole video about like my screens and different things. I talk a little bit about how as like the Soul Basara, I channel and do all those things. And I just always have to shout out to the TISM, because thank God that's really the only way that I could stay as grounded as I do within what it is that I channel. So, but in the clearly channeling, I give some tools and some tricks about like how to manage your own oracle eyes. So, but what were we saying? I lost my train of thought. Timeline splits. Okie dokie. So what does that mean, Sarah? It means that the energy that's available on the planet right now, as far as growth, ascension, and really finding your soul's path. The North Node is in Pisces. Closures, healings, and coming home. Our soul's path. Not so much Aries, about self and me. Then we get to money and values and all this different stuff and the language of communication. But the last sign of the zodiac. What did my soul come here to do? What did my soul come here to experience? And so the energy that is available for us is co-creating with you. It's available. It says, hey, this ambrosia is available for you to co-create with. To say, I am willing to become the most authentic version of this human being for my soul's growth, to be the role in the play of human life in May 2025. I'm cool with that. I'm ready to play that role. I am willing and able. This takes incredible courage. I just want you to know that. It takes incredible courage. You might be pegged as the woo-woo one or the cuckoo pants one. You might be asked to step away from a great job, maybe a 6, 7, 8 out of 10 relationship. You might be asked to move. You might have to, ask for help every once in a while. And it's about going the way that your soul said, that's the role I want to play during the time of the awakening of the planet. You don't have to. This energy is an offering. It's not going to come into your body and like make you thrash and be like this poison that you ingest. It's not going to do that. If you do not want this, you just say, no, thank you. I'm good. In the same way that when we utilize astrology, we don't have to choose the highest and greatest timeline. I've looked back. Seriously, I looked back and it was the North Node transiting Aries the last time it did. And I literally looked back in my life. I was like, oh, you did not choose the highest timeline. No, ma'am. No. I stayed in a relationship that was not meant for me. I was just like lying by omission. I was just choosing the South Node and Libra path. Yeah, completely, 100%. But I wouldn't be me if I didn't choose that timeline. So that's me judging the fact that I didn't choose the highest and greatest timeline, but it brought me to this timeline, which is my highest and greatest timeline. So I needed to learn that lesson as an experiential learner. So it's kind of all a little bit of a judgment. So if the energy of growth or development or whatever it may be isn't for you, then be in what you're in. And really take some pressure off. And say, I'm doing the best I can with the tools that I have. And I am enough for today. We talked a little bit about that in my relationships video that I posted last week. I'll put the link for that below, where really acknowledging what kind of a love am I available for now? That's it. It's really asking yourself, what am I available for now? And spending some time with that. There's no rush. What's meant for you is going to find you. And if your most authentic path means resting and taking a few moments to process, then that's what you're supposed to be doing. And that might be really what my guys are saying, is that this isn't all about being, even the leadership role is shifting. Like, it's not about the being, like, not everybody's supposed to be like the Pilates instructor or the Peloton biker that's like, yeah, keep up with me. Sometimes leading is taking a part-time job to take care of your house and your family. Sometimes leading is scrubbing the toilets or doing the dishes for your wife because she's tired. Sometimes leading isn't about taking a video of yourself doing it, but batching your content and taking videos and then being in what you're in. So really acknowledging that going our separate ways means it's like the hero's journey. And I'm making a note for myself to like the hero of 1,000 faces type of a thing. Oh my God, there was something that came up the other day with an old coworker of mine. Sorry, I'm getting cozy. An old coworker of mine had been very much like, we're repeating history. History's repeating itself, yada, yada, yada. And the conversation got a little heated. So I respectfully said, I respectfully completely disagree with you. History has repeated itself, but not right now. We're awakening to that cycle and saying, I'm choosing something different. It's micro or macro, and the micro creates the macro, meaning you might be the first one in your family line to choose a different way. And that is being reflected in the macro of whatever soap opera of the world you pay attention to be like, no, you're lying to me. Absolutely not. You're pretending to be nice, but I know that you're not. That doesn't make sense. Just because you donate to that charity doesn't make you a good person. It's like the Wizard of Oz. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain type of energy. But okay. Whew. All right, so some journal prompts that I want to offer you that could be helpful as you really sink into this energy. I don't want to project onto you like this is how to harness the energy, but when we journal, you know my love affair with pen and paper journaling. It's about reflecting, getting things out, and then letting it be integrated and moving along. A lot of people are leaving behind the complaining, and they're like, I need to talk this out, I need to get this out, I need to chat GPT it out so I can really not have this be a perfume that I wear anymore. So some journal prompts that I want to offer you, there's 3 of them. What toxic patterns am I ready to let go of? And this doesn't have to be in relationships. This could be whatever's coming up for you. With the South Node over here in our house of daily life, health and practical service, a lot of people are choosing sobriety or health in whatever sense that is. And so really this could be whatever lens this is for you, and wherever this is coming up in your personal birth chart, I would, look to the South Node transit for reference. But what toxic patterns am I ready to let go of? How can I honor my boundaries in relationships while staying true to myself? I'll repeat it. How can I honor my boundaries in relationships while staying true to myself? Last one. Where am I trying to change others instead of focusing on my own transformation? Where am I trying to change others instead of focusing on my own transformation? Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about some astrology. Like I said, I recorded a Venus and Aries video, and that's going to be posted I'm recording this on the 28th, and I'm going to post this on the 29th. So that video will be available tomorrow. So definitely, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and, like this video and share it with someone that you think could really utilize this energy. And I have to highlight that your subscription alone literally helps. It's funny when I watch certain Emilio Ortiz videos, I really appreciate the work that he's doing, especially for the younger generation. But you have no idea how much a subscription to a channeler or to any YouTube channel really shifts that person's life. So it might not make full sense to you, but if you're keen for this information and it resonates with you and you watch my videos on a regular basis, your subscription really matters. So I appreciate it. To kind of offer you the Libra side of the coin on that one, if this doesn't resonate with you, do not feel inclined to subscribe. I try to put as much as I can out there, but if it's overwhelming, you don't have to, but if you watch my videos regularly, a subscription does help. It helps the channel. So thank you so much. So with that being said, Venus has a whole video, so I'm not going to talk about that right now. But the 4th of May, we have Pluto, this little guy here, going retrograde in Aquarius at 3 degrees. From the 4th of May on, it's retrograde season. Sorry, I just want to be cozy with you. And so for the rest of 2025, there will be at least one planetary body that is retrograde for the rest of the year. So when we have specific retrogrades, Mercury retrograde especially, we don't make big, decisions. it's May. We have to make decisions. We have to live our lives. So it doesn't mean that you can't launch a program or do something new. This is our deepest, where's my wand? Transformative planet in our house of community, friendships, and wishes for the future. Because, Pluto's a slow mover. So you might have been born under a Pluto retrograde. I myself was. So this is casual for me. Totally fine. You still have to make decisions. But what I would recommend and what I like to do is when I get triggered in the outside world, I just say, okay, I'm going to take a few minutes to really decide how I want to respond to this. Like, you don't have to respond to a text message right away. You don't have to respond to an email right away. I sure don't. It was funny. A dear friend of mine was trying to contact me the other day, and my phone rang. So I was like, oh, you rang twice to get through. And she's like, yeah, I've been sending you what are they called? FaceTime messages and stuff like that. I was like, I'm not getting those. She's like, yeah, I know. That's why I called. I was like, oh, my phone's been on Do Not Disturb. And she was like, yeah, I had to work to get through. I'm glad she did. I love you so much. But with all that being said, I am also in a hermiting space where I'm very specific with the people that I connect with and communicate with and collaborate with. I'm very specific with what I'm allowing myself to ingest because I'm recognizing how potent and powerful the energetic ingestion comes, not just from the scroll, but from the energy that you receive from each individual person. That's a person, dude. That's a person. Yeah, we're affected by the nervous system of the people that we surround ourselves with. So even that one moment of the flick, yeah, it's hitting your dopamine, and yeah, you're getting all these different highs and stuff like that. But really, that's a soul. That is a consciousness that you are choosing to actively connect with. So just be aware of that. Just be aware of that. This is in our house of community, friendships, and wishes for the future. Pluto's in Aquarius for the next 20-something years. Ain't going anywhere. So really, you can make, I'm just listening to the guides. So my natal sun is at 2 degrees of Aries. So I really recognize the irrationality of when I make a decision, she's done. It's done. Quit the job, get rid of the apartment, move in here, doing this, doing that, getting rid of it, cutting the hair, getting the tattoos, whatever it may be. And, sometimes in hindsight, I was like, oh, that was ambitious. That was interesting. But when I know a decision needs to be made, something needs to be changed, my Scorpio rising, conjunct Pluto, was like, we've processed this. So the way that this energy could show up in your life, it's like, I know that this hasn't been right. I know that this hasn't been right. I know that this hasn't been right. And the universe is like, hey, this isn't right. Hey, this isn't right. Hey, this isn't right. Hey, this isn't. And so it's like, it might get louder. It might get a lot louder. And, that's something that, like when I'm channeling in my all signs readings or in sessions or in reading, like wherever, when I'm channeling and here, if I, see something within my mind's eye that my guides are like, hey, this is here. Sometimes if it's not, if it's like really intense, or if it's a little bit too close to like, is that just an image that's coming through my brain? Like it takes a lot of discernment to channel, especially for a larger collective, but it'll come back around. If it's a message that needs to be said, it'll come back around and it'll be louder. Same way in your personal life. When someone's not supposed to be in your life, they might hurt your feelings a little bit, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more, until you learn the lesson and you remove that person from your life. So how Pluto going retrograde could show up in your life is a little bit of it's kind of like I'm seeing a little bit of a parallel to a Neptune going retrograde, where it's like the rose-colored glasses get ripped off and you're like, oh, Jesus God, I can't believe that I allowed this. So allow it to be potent, allow it to be definitive, and allow it to be complete. Allow it to be complete. We do have Neptune sitting over here, 1 degree Aries. She's she will dip back into Pisces energy and then fully ingress into Aries energy later on in 2026. So we're getting a little, just like my workbook says, we're dipping our toes. We're dipping our toes in the new energy, in the new world. So let's see. On the 10th of May, we're going to talk a little bit about Mercury right now. So I'm going to talk about the completion of the Mercury transit, because Mercury is scooting. We had that Mercury retrograde, Aries, back into Pisces, now it's in Aries. And so on the 10th of May, Mercury is going to go into Taurus, which is our collective house of money, please, values, wishes for the future, or pardon me, money, values, and access to resources. So Taurus is fixed negative earth energy. And so that is really about having sustainable structures, really cozy, bougie structures. It's like Taurus energy to me can sometimes be about having very eclectic, it's not even eclectic, that's the wrong word. It's like, how do I even say it? What you value is different for anything that you purchase. So it's like the person that only eats organic. I'll speak for my statements. So Taurus shows up for me where I only eat organic. I have coconut sugar and maple syrup and honey, but not, regular sugar. Don't eat gluten. Dairy's not doing so well. So it's like high protein meats only after I channel. And, I'm doing vegan protein powder instead of the whey because the whey hasn't been settling. But it's like I love hard cheeses, but not soft cheeses. It's a whole big mess. It's a whole big mess. But I know exactly what that mess is. When it comes to certain purchases, I've purchased certain things from thrift stores that are maybe $4 that are like some of my most precious things. But when I buy sneakers, I'm saving up to buy a pair of Nobles, and I want those to last. My, Dansko restaurant shoes, they're patent leather, they're amazing, but I'm spending top dollar because I want those to I want those to last. I'm not skimping on any of those things. If there's a coupon, oh my God, absolutely. But so that's what I mean by eclectic, is that the way that you value something could be perceived top draw or perceived cheap. That don't matter. So when Mercury is in the house, Mercury, we're going to break it down in lenses, is scooting through the month, starts in Aries, completely goes through Taurus, and then ends up in Gemini. That says to me that our mental agility will be very, very strong. What did I write down? Reframing communication. If we feel as though we've had to be in this, like, per my last email, like I said before, all these different things, we're going to be able to, or what's coming through, recognize that there's an unhealthy attachment to the communication with you, whether it be repetitive emails from a colleague, repetitive, conversations with a family member, with a friend, with partners, whatever, however it shows up for you, really recognizing you're recognizing some unhealthy communication styles maybe coming in. And we also have to remember and recognize that people can only hear you to the point where they can hear and understand themselves. So if per my last email, like I said before, I don't want to repeat myself, if we're getting frustrated, you're just speaking Italian where they're speaking German, my friend. The relationships video could be worth your time, especially if this is showing up in friendships, friend groups, family members, wherever. Because when it's time for us to move along from a relationship, an environment, a community, the bar, wherever, the job, wherever, this doesn't mean that you're better than that person. It means that you're getting pulled on a different path, and their path is going a different way. But if you choose to be there with them, you're preventing both of you from growing. So you have to sometimes love someone enough to say, I'm not the person for you. to say, I want you to have a 10 out of 10. But if we're ever in that wince state of like, oh, I have to set a boundary with this person, that's our ego. That's our ego saying, I know better. I'm this, I'm more this, I'm more smarter, I'm more this. No, you're not. You're a person. We poop the same way. You're no smarter or better. You're just being pulled on a different path. So when we really celebrate the endings of friendships, relationships, in the same way we would celebrate new ones coming in, or honor it as a completed cycle and try to take our emotions out of it a little bit, feel the feelings, my friend. I'm not discrediting how uncomfortable this is and how you're going to need to feel and process and go through the stages of grief with all of this, but really like really allow yourself to feel that. And it's one of my favorite phrases that I've really shared a few times with you, which is, the longer you stay on the wrong train, the more expensive it is to get back to where you need to be. Sometimes starting over is the hardest but most important thing you'll ever do. It takes courage. It takes courage, but at some point you have to. Or you don't. I am no guru. So Mercury on the 10th going into Taurus, and then on the 25th of May is going to go into Gemini. Mercury is happy in Gemini. Gemini is run by Mercury. Mercury runs the third house. So I'm excited about this. But this month is cuckoo. Not really cuckoo, but it's just some big shifts are really going on. So I'm going to honor that the 25th, this is one of the biggest days of the month, the 24th. One of the biggest days of the year. I'm serious. This is Saturn going into Aries. That's a big shift. That's a big deal. I just want to get my coffee for this one. And it's come up a lot for the guys are like, be gentle with this one, dear. Be gentle. I'm like, okay, dude. I'll do a whole all signs reading, and for that I won't be gentle. But here I want to be gentle to say, taking radical personal responsibility will be one of the most accessible and gentle ways to utilize Saturn in Aries. Saturn is our interdisciplinarian planet, going into the sign of the infant baby ram, the warrior Mars. Without grounding, that's insane energy. Without awareness or evolution of your Aries placements, that's absurd and could be extremely spark pluggy. Imagine that this is the Wild West. It took a lot of courage to handle any of that experience, and it takes incredible courage to navigate human existence right now. But really taking time to calm your own nervous system, to ground every day, to recognize, is this mine? Is this the collective's? Do I need to listen to that person? Whom am I responsible for? Myself, my family, my community, my home, my family, my team, my flock, my subscribers, my following, my clients, my friends. Like, who are the people in my world? Really understand that. I'm going to quote my workbook, my 2025 workbook, Saturn in Aries. How to best navigate. Learn how to have fun. What is fun? What do I enjoy doing? When no one is looking and no one needs me, what jazzes me up about life? I don't care what it is. Know what it is and do more of it. Have an adventure. Like, how cool would it be to like be riding a horse out and like being a pioneer? Like, how cool would that be? There must be such intense and incredible freedom within that. Let that be like the clarity that you experience. It's terrifying, but like, do it anyways. horseback riding. I actually want to put that out into the universe, that I would love to ride a horse this summer or soon. I would love for that to happen. If anybody in the Massachusetts area knows somebody with a horse, please call me. Get excited about change and know that it is God supporting you. Rebrand, redirection, rebrand, failure. How do you hear the whispers of God? Have a grounding practice. This is non-negotiable. Think of yourself as a hot air balloon, and each morning you ground, you tether yourself to reality. Trust your hands and feet, drink water. This is a lot of air and fire energy, so water and earth will be the medicine. Trust your feet, ground down, and drink clean water. By end of year, you'll thank yourself for it. I'm so excited about this. I'm going to highlight the work of Pam Gregory. She is a very gifted astrologer and speaks very eloquently on the history and the historic patterns of Neptune conjunct Saturn and Saturn in Aries and Neptune in Aries. I don't really speak to that. My channels don't include that. So if you're keen for a little bit of like what has happened in the past, Pam Gregory is for you. Shout out to Pam Gregory. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okie dokie. Where are we? Now I'm going to reference the moon cycles of the month and how we can really understand that. On the 12th, depending on your time zone, it might be a different date, but I will have way more available for you. On the 12th of May, we're going to have our full moon in Scorpio. That will be at 22 degrees. Another indicator of relationship shifts. This is the house of shared wealth and shared possessions. Full moon energy is about releasing, deep dark transformation, death, rebirth, wills, inheritances, taxes, if you will, all that fun stuff. So the second house is about money, values, and access to resources, shared possessions, shared wealth. And my Taurus season introduction was about what matters most. Like I've been saying in this video, whom am I responsible for? Whom are my people? Because how cool of a world would it be if everyone on the planet focused on their flock? Like everyone on the planet focused on their own flock. Yeah, community would be a really cool place, don't you think? But it starts with us. It starts with us. So this full moon, I'm just listening. There might be some things that come up that are, I'm just trying to play out this image that I'm getting. It's a little bit chaos energy, a little bit of frustrating energy. And it could be some release of information. I'm seeing things actually like information getting released to the mainstream public in some capacity, maybe about toxins and chemicals. When we think of Scorpio, we think of the scorpion tail, and it's like, so it's a lot to do with medicines and different things like that. And recognizing that not everyone has our best interests in mind. So if we're getting called to remove someone from our lives, walk away, walk towards your future, remember Lot's wife, then this could be an environment where you recognize that the person that you were like, oh, but I don't want to hurt their feelings, has like been plotting to like take things from you. That's a very extreme dramatization, but this could be on a much grander scale. For full moons, I have a full moon channeling and healing that's available in my all access membership group, as well as my all sign or my Full Moon Healing and Channeling membership group, where for this full moon cycle and for every full moon, I offer a full distance energy healing, clearing, channeled messages for you. I utilize my healing canvases. I channel as many divine guides that can come through. I speak light language. It's really just a big code unlocking for you that is super powerful, super intense. A lot of my members, they just lie down and receive it, and I'm just listening to my guides. It's not like this, how do I say, when you exchange money for services of this capacity, that's the invitation to, I want to experience and receive this upgrade. I want to really harness and utilize this energy. So I just want to mirror this for all of my content creators and people. Like, it is okay to charge money for a lot of the things that you're doing. I want you to always have your free stuff out there and things like that, but really recognizing that certain things are not meant to be shared publicly. Full body chill. So that membership group is very, very warm and welcoming, and it's for the people that are navigating this world, looking ahead with the astrology, and then receiving and cleansing and clearing once a month. My all access group is for that. So the links are below for more information on the membership groups, but what I have available publicly is a collective message and an all signs reading for this full moon. What might be highlighting for you, what you might be experiencing and going through, and how to navigate it with a little bit more of a mindset where the membership is literally saying, like, I'm allowing my guides to really work with me and inviting them in. So it's not just about my team, your higher self and your spirit team come in for you. But it takes a lot more than just a random scroll on YouTube. So if that is something that you're interested in, they're powerful and potent in a real beautiful way to harness and utilize. I don't even want to say harness, but receive full moon healing energy. The new moon that we have on the 26th of the month is going to be in Gemini at 6 degrees. So full moons, opposition, release, celebration, kind of being privy to highlighted information because the moon is so bright in the sky of things I might not have been aware of. And the new moons, the darkest, is when we plant seeds of intentions for what we do want, manifestation, if you will, those types of things. And this, Gemini, is about language, communication, early learning and short trips, neighbors, and those types of things. So this is beautiful, potent, and powerful. I'm just highlighting that Mercury will be in Gem, and Saturn, where are you again? It's going to be in Aries for that. I mean, I'm putting Neptune down as well. This is very new energy. In June, we're going to have Jupiter changing signs. I'll have more information on that. And when does Uranus change signs? And on July 7th, Uranus goes into Gemini. So I'm going to leave these guys up because they're a new energy. You're retrograde. You're a new energy over here. This is the way we communicate and really asking what it is that we do want. For my intuitives and for my creators and my channelers on here, or whatever you've labeled yourself to be, this could be a time where a new shine, a new clairsense really comes online. In the past of my life, when I've had third house transits, certain, knowings, awakenings have happened for me. So it's definitely an exciting time. I have to highlight, I'm a Scorpio rising, so a lot of the times that energy falls in my 8th house. It's my 7th and 8th house, but it's also how we communicate. This is actually, we could interpret this energy as, I'm hearing just like new mental patterning. and releasing a lot of, I can't remember what sign it was, releasing a lot of old family constructs of you don't have to play that role anymore. This is very specific and niche, but I mean, like, we're going into the summer. Where is it? Mother's Day is 2 weeks before that. But just because maybe it's like you're the youngest and your mom, even though you're like a 45-year-old man, is like, but you're the baby. And you're like, I'm not. Like, I'm not going to play the role that you think that I need to play in this family anymore. So I feel as though a way you could really show up with this energy and co-create with it is finding the new way that you communicate, the most authentic way that you communicate, and really rebranding, if that's the right word, like, and really looking at, like, why are we labeling healthy as such a bad thing? I don't even know why I put it in quotations. So it came up in, I think it was Sag rising, for the Venus in Aries transit, which is like, okay, maybe you've gone sober, or, you know, maybe life is a little boring, and you're like, I used to do like bumps and like pick up cigarettes that fell on the ground and smoke them and like have a high tolerance and do all these things. It's like finding the equivalent of that energy in a healthy way. It's almost like every time I say healthy, you're like, I don't need to be healthy. Why is that a bad word? Could that be a sleeper cell? Could that be a sleeper cell that's inside your brain? You know, a little implantation inside the brain that says that's a bad thing. Just a thought. Just a thought. It's a human thought. But I'm excited about this. This is very new, fresh, available energy. Like, it's too wide for me to call it a sextile in my own practice, but it's like, this is at 6 degrees and this is going to be at 0, 1 degrees. So it's like technically a sextile, which we know is like workable energy, utilizable energy. Okay, so the image that I'm really going to like, check my notes before I wrap it up. In another video, I might talk more about Jupiter sextiling Chiron on the 18th. What day am I talking about? At 25 degrees. That's the last of 3 sextiles. Remind me, I'll talk about that. If you're curious, please just comment below and I'll do a whole video on that, or I'll integrate it somehow. Because it's very expansive, working with your traumas and triggers and stuff like that. But this beautiful image that I keep getting, and I've mentioned this before about this energy and what's available, is, you know, it's like I just see the globe and people are just standing on the globe. And I just see you, or this like ambiguous image of you, that if this resonates with you, could be me, could be anyone, of a human that's just like kind of in the dark. And they don't resonate with anyone around them, and they're like, why am I here? What's going on? Why am I planted on this place in the earth? And then all of a sudden, the ground that you stand on is like this platform that just rises up, it just shoots up to a different energy, a different vibration. And it's like you're perceived like in the clouds. And then you're standing up there and you're like, whoa, what just happened? And then you recognize you can walk on the clouds. My ears are ringing. And you look around and you're like, I see a few people up here. And they're like waving at you and they're like, oh my God, you're on this vibration too. It's so good to see you. What's your name? Hi. And you're like, whoa, this is awesome. These are the right people, places, things, opportunities, collaborators, homes, like everything, jobs, anything. That you're like, you're in this vibration too. That's amazing. And things become very clear, and it's not like it's effortless. It took deep inner work to be the seed in that dark place, in that hermit mode. But I just believe that this energy, if you choose, your mission, if you choose to accept it, if you've been choosing to really feel, process, handle, deal with things, and just be like, I don't have impatience anymore. I trust divine timing. I trust the God of my understanding. I'm doing the best I can with the tools I have, and I'm just reps and setting that thing. I'm just doing it. Things can happen. It's like the bamboo shoot. All of a sudden, it's like, and you're like, wow, I'm really glad that I didn't diminish. I'm really glad that I didn't back down. I'm really glad. Is that Bob Seger? No. Bruce Springsteen, maybe? I can't remember. Don't back down. Tom Petty? I can't remember now. What song is playing in my head? I don't know. And it's not a judgment. It's like, I want you to recognize that view now is becoming super quantum, where it's like, now the people that were down on the planet, maybe like another group gets shot up, but they're in a different vibration. It's like very quantum. It's like, but the people that have shot up in the first group are on the same vibration, but it's just an elevated energy. And then the next group gets shot up and it's an elevated energy, but the group in A doesn't see the group in group B because they're not supposed to connect. It's the same planet. It's the same thing. We all ascend. Yeah. Just let people be in what they're in, and don't try to like put someone else on your pedestal and like come with you. The people that are meant to be up there with you will be there with you. Sometimes I can't read my own handwriting. I think that's it for today. May is beautiful, and it's a real incredible time to co-create with the energy that's available to us. I'm really shifting a lot of my language around. It's not about harnessing, like lassoing the energy and saying, guide the way. It's about saying, oh, this is a beautiful charcuterie board. I want to ingest this, and that will bring me, as the ambrosia that it is, to the vibration and to the opportunities that are right for me. I love connecting with you. This was a fun channel. Thank you so much for being here. Please reach out directly if you're keen for a personalized reading, a personalized channeling session. I have tons of information in my membership group. I am going to be posting this tomorrow, the 29th. So if you'd like to join my all access membership group, our coaching call is this Saturday. We meet the first Saturday of every month for a coaching call where I process individually as many people as I can, as many people as the time allots us to. Not everyone's keen to process individually. Some people really just like to sit back and ingest the group's energy, which is really supportive and warm. And we're all in our own arenas, and we're all doing the best that we can with the tools that we have. But when we come together to say, I'm working on myself, that synergy like creates like a beautiful portal for us to like do the dang thing. I love you. I will see you soon. Please let me know how I can best support you and what questions you have. You can comment below, send me an email, and just let me know how I can support you. Bye, darling.